Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me fix one slight problem. Hopefully that'll help turn you guys up a little bit. It is Friday. Are y'all excited about that? What are y'all doing today? Let me move my stuff out of the way. So I got everything sitting here from when I was working last night. Are y'all ready? What did you think about yesterday's show when I talked about refusing to pretend? Hey, Travis! Travis, let me tell you something. I advertise for you and you don't even know it. I have friends that live in Florida. And I said, you got to call my friend Travis. The houses he showed make me instantaneously want to move there. And they was like, how do you know this guy? So I've been saying, hopefully they've been contacting you. I'll give you their names because your videos and those houses you show make me want to move there. Good morning, Trenda. Good morning, Charlene. So what did you guys think about refusing to pretend? Did we practice that yesterday? Just being you instead of pretending to be, because that is exhausting. It is exhausting to be somebody else other than yourself. It is exhausting. And I cannot wait to share with you guys today. I am excited. And let me tell you, my phone doesn't want me to be great. I was on 10,000, but it's okay. It is okay. I feel like you guys are lopsided. And maybe it's just my screen. Well, all right, Saucy. Ooh,
oh, you said
you made me want to go to the islands.
You are so silly, right? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm all excited. We have the book release celebration this weekend.
Yeah.
In Charlotte, North Carolina. So we packing it up and heading, well, we call it heading north just a little bit, north on 85.
I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yes. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Fearless Morning Show. So I have some extra guests in the house today. So I'm hopeful. I'm trying not to yell into the phone because I know that they're still asleep and when someone is asleep in the bedroom right above the office. So let me know if you can't hear me. I'm so trying to keep it down. Oh, goodness. Good morning. Jojo, you have a message. No drinking on the job.
Between her and my uncle, y'all, this is alkaline water.
Oh, you sure? You got to make sure, right?
I'm just trying to live right out here in these streets.
Right. We just having some true confessions and conversations over here. So you just hold it.
I'm holding it in, y'all.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started this morning with our Fearless Morning quote. The quote this morning is, you have to accept whatever comes. And the only important thing is that we meet it with the best we have to give.
We can end the show right there.
Right? Right? Because there are so many things, guys, that come at, I'm sorry, that is by Eleanor Roosevelt. Let me give credit where credit is due.
Smart lady.
That by Eleanor Roosevelt, guys. Thank you, Anissa, for joining and watching. Hello, Charlene, and everyone else that has joined us this morning. You have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that we meet it with the best you have to give, that you meet it with the best you have to give. And that's by Eleanor Roosevelt. So what that says to me is simply this: my past doesn't define what I have to do with my future, right? And anything that comes at me today is about how I respond to that thing. So you think about that challenge area in your life, and we've all had them. And if you haven't had it, keep on living. It's coming, right? We've all had those challenge areas in our lives that if we simply dealt with it in a different way, it wouldn't have been as much of a daunting challenge. And
Right.
this is something simple. And my husband, he can challenge me in this area often. Let me just say, and he knows those little things. And I'm not certain that he does it intentional, but there are certain things that he can do that can just set a girl off, right? That can set me off immediately. But what I have recognized in myself is that I can control how I'm responding to it, because he oftentimes doesn't mean it the way that I received it, right? Or that I perceived it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to catch myself in that moment. So I changed my thinking around some of those things. Yes, Charlene, I know, girl, they can get us. They know how to get us if they want to. But I'm so empowered, y'all. Yesterday was International Women's Day. And there was so much great information that was shared with us throughout the day, that I'm just so empowered in my thinking as far as how I respond to everything moving forward. So that's the Fearless Morning quote for this morning from Miss Eleanor Roosevelt. Jojo, would you like to add anything to
No,
that?
because I won't stop. Because
Okay.
that's my topic, so I won't stop. Trenda said her whole life is a challenge area. Trenda, I've so been there. When I was like, y'all can pick and choose whichever one y'all want the crazy to stop in right now. I don't care as long as it stops. So I feel you on that one, honey.
Yes, yes. But guys, it's about how we respond, how we prepare ourselves to get through those challenge areas that are going to take us to our next.
That's it. You see what Travis said?
Travis, when you react, that means you choose to own the issue. Oh, love it. You better say that, Travis.
Travis, that needs to be the quarter, tomorrow, the week, the year, because how you react, boy.
Yes.
He's smart already this morning at 7:20.
Right. So I'm coming on this morning to share with you. This is our Where Do I Begin series. We're having our financial confessions and conversations about everyday life and your finances. So where do I begin investing? And the number one thing that I want to share with you guys, go ahead and write these things down. The number one thing that I say as far as where do you begin is you have to begin by educating yourself. And you're like, well, dog, I thought she was going to give me something new. I thought she was going to tell me something completely different that I didn't already know. Well, because you already know it, are you doing it? See, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to invest in you, right? Investing in you, invest in the education that you need so that you are protecting yourself in the event something happens within that particular investment that you're looking at, right? And the reason I say this, guys, and I feel you, because I was in that position at one time. When I initially started investing, you know what I would do? I would go around and see who had the best tips on investing, and somebody would say, ooh, girl, or yes, I made so much money investing in this. You know what I did? I would go and jump on the bandwagon, right? I would go jump on the bandwagon thinking I had this hot tip from somebody that I didn't do any research on, that I didn't know anything about, that I had no clue. But because XYZ person said that it was okay, Lynn went and invested in that. Let me tell you guys, that was not a smart decision. Okay? So what I'm telling you today, this is to help you if you're willing to accept it, right? It was for them in that moment, because everything that you invest in, guys, it's about timing and positioning yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? You have to have the right timing and position yourself and know exactly what's happening so that you're making the right decisions as far as your investments are concerned. So when you talk about investing, educate yourself. It's cliche as all get out, but I guarantee you that it's going to give you the best returns. See, when things happen in the investment, it doesn't matter if you're investing in the stock market, if you're investing in real estate and land, if you're investing in, you name it, you decide. You want to buy a business. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you educate yourself and that you understand the ins and outs of this. And the thing too, guys, the number two thing that I want to say is don't rush into it. right?
Right.
When I say don't rush into it, I also want to put the other side of the disclaimer out there. Don't procrastinate too long, because time is important in an investment situation. See, if you're looking to get rich overnight, then this is not the video for you. This is not the process for you. Go ahead and spend your money on the lottery tickets and go do you, right? Because this is not what happens in the investing world. Okay, there are a few that may be some quick wins for you, that you might find a couple of those every now and then, those diamonds in the rough. But what you need to catch and understand is that this is a long-term game, right? So when you're talking about investing your money, you need to look down the road. You need to have a plan, dare I say, a decade down the road, 5 years to 10 years down the road. What is it that you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? So once you educate yourself, that's the next thing, is to go ahead and set up a plan, an investing plan, right? What is the end goal? What would you like to accomplish? And then back map from those goals, right? Because if you go through and you educate yourself, you're now confident in the decisions that you are going to make and your abilities to now meet that goal. See, that's what's most important, and that's what we need to catch when we start investing. The third thing, though, is, guys, we got to stop lying to ourselves and saying, I don't have any money to invest. See, that's also another problem. I'm throwing so many different things at you at once, but this is key for us to catch. We have to stop lying and saying we don't have money to invest, but then we need to now reposition ourselves. Remember, we talked about millionaires ask themselves empowering questions, right? So instead of saying, I don't have money to invest, what would be an empowering question that you can now ask yourself? Let me see how many of y'all have been listening to what we said. But if you can, put it in the comment section. What would be an example of an empowering question, as opposed to, I don't have money to invest? What can you now say to yourself that's different from what you've been telling yourself, so that we can look at investing in a different way? I'm waiting on somebody. Somebody please type it in for me. What can you ask yourself instead of saying, I don't have money to invest? And if you think about it, we talked about it with the Lamborghini scenario, right? We talked about the Lamborghini. I have a Lamborghini for $50,000. I want to offer it to JoJo for sale. If you were on here, you know that JoJo said yes. Why did JoJo say yes? What can I invest? Yes, what can I invest? You empower yourself. You don't say, I don't have the money. You ask yourself, what can I invest? Or how can I find the money to invest? See, that's what JoJo told me about that Lamborghini that I had on sale for $50,000. She said, let me go find the money, because I know the value is over $200,000. I'm paying $50,000. I can still make my money back. Plus, I can double my money if I sold it for $100,000 to someone who knows the value. See, guys, we have to start thinking differently about the things that we choose to invest in. So an investing is not just in the stock market. JoJo made an investment in that scenario, in that Lamborghini, because she knew that she would be able to turn it around, right? So it's about positioning yourself and asking yourself those empowering questions. And Charlene says, do I really need these things like shoes, purses, versus investing in my family? My family comes first, right?
Sacrifice.
That's the self-reflection piece right there.
Yep.
Right? That's how you stop lying to yourself and saying yes. See, we don't have to have that $300 purse, right? Or that $600 purse, because they cost even more than that these days, right? That would be a nice opportunity for me to now go and invest. So guys, for those of you, and I've shared this before, and I'm going to continue to share it, because I don't think that a lot of you have taken the advantage of the opportunity. When you want to, if you want to learn about investing, there's so many things out there that can help you. Think or Swim by TD Ameritrade. How many of you actually signed up to get your account? And not only signed up to get your account, how many of you have actually gone in there and tried to utilize it? Because once you go into Think or Swim by TD Ameritrade, they give you paper money. $100,000, guys, of paper money is like Monopoly money. that you can now go in and practice investing. And
Yes.
then they give you the account for 60 days for free, right? And if you set up an account, or if you already have an existing account with them, they already give you an account automatically. So if you have real money with them, they automatically give you a practice account so you can go over there
Mm-hmm.
and try to do what? Make your money, keep your money, grow your money, right? That's the grow your money side of the conversation.
Yep.
Are we doing those things? We're making our money. Yes, we're going to our jobs. Good morning,
Good
Miss
morning,
Emily.
family.
Thank you for joining. So when we look at that, guys, we're going to our jobs, we're making our money, but are you keeping it? How much of your money are you keeping? How much of your money do you currently have, right? How much of your money can you say that this is sitting aside over here in case stuff happens? How
Mm-hmm.
much of your money do you say this money is sitting over here to grow and build generational wealth for my family? How many of us can say this is my legacy money over here,
Life
right?
legacies are what we building.
Exactly. So it's about positioning yourselves differently. So how do you begin investing? That's the conversation today. The number one thing, guys, is to educate yourself. That is the best investment that you can ever make. Get the education that you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
And many of those things that you need to start doing don't cost you anything. But dare I say, you want to continue to grow, right? So you are going to have to invest money to be able to grow. It's as simple as that, unless you want to stay in the same place where you are, because you have to get around like-minded people and people who are 2 or 3 steps ahead of you, so
Yes.
that you can now do the things that you want to do. And
Yes.
Trenda says that she started her 60 days after she finished some of the other things she's doing, so that she can really focus. Okay, you wanted to start your 60 days. And you know what, Trenda, that's a great point that you bring up, guys. You have to be focused. You have to be intentional in this. But the thing that I too want to share, Trenda, is don't wait too long, because procrastination will turn into, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's easy for us to put a pin in it. And I'm speaking to myself because I know for a fact that those things can happen. Life gets in the way. Life is going to always be in your way. So what we have to recognize is, if I don't take action on this now, if I don't make this a priority right now, then it will not get done, right? So make sure that you put it on your calendar. Maybe you can't do it today. I get that, right? Because something else is going on. But you need to be intentional. Go ahead and put it on your calendar today. I will start by this date, right? Focusing on my investing by doing what? What is the thing that you're going to do? What's that first step that you are going to take? Be intentional, guys, because we have to have a plan behind. Yes,
I was
Jojo.
going to ask a question, and some people may be thinking this and may not have asked. And you can, if you've heard this question before, a lot of people are like Trina is saying, she want to finish some other things first before she start. What if they're in a place of just living past crazy in their finances? So they're trying to save. Should they? Do they work them simultaneously, or do they work on saving their money and figuring out their spending habit first, as opposed to investing at the same time? Like, you need to set this first and then you can move to savings. Do you have a
Okay.
formula for them for that?
Okay, so let me also say this. I adapt to several different philosophies.
Mm-hmm.
I've adapted the philosophies of Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, Robert Kiyosaki,
Mm-hmm.
just to name a few,
Mm-hmm.
and Tony Robbins. So what I do is a mixture or a combination of the philosophy of those guys, and of course the Bible. Don't let me leave that out, because the Bible just, those are our basic instructions before leaving earth. So I can't leave that out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my foundation is a mixture of those things. And that's what each and every one of us, that's what you have to do. You have to set the foundation based upon what fits your situation, right? If you don't have an emergency fund, guys, set aside in case stuff happens, in my book, that's your number one. That should be your number one priority, because you have to make sure that you're able to take care of your day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's simply be real. You have to be able to take care of your family in case something happens. And what you also need to recognize, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what's been happening in politics and what's being shared in the news. There is so much chaos and confusion that is happening in the world today that it behooves us to be prepared in case of an emergency. So for us to go and not have that emergency fund, that contingency fund, whatever you want to call it, to not have that is an utter mistake. It is an utter mistake,
I'm
right?
right there with you,
So we
Emily.
have to figure that. Say that again.
I was telling Emily I understand her pain.
Yes, yes. In student loans, student loans, and in my story, that's the reason I have my goal that my baby will have $100,000 before he graduates from high school, because I graduated from college with $100,000 of student loan debt. My husband graduated from college with $100,000 of student loan debts. So I hear you and I know that pain, but you better believe I was so glad when I received that last email from Navient saying congratulations. Woo! Congratulations, right? You have paid off the student loan. So trust me, I get it. But the thing there is it just took me being intentional and focusing on that. And if that's the priority for you, get your emergency fund first, get that out of the way first, and then snowball that student loan. But this is what I want to say. If y'all, and I know this is about investing, but because this has come up, I think it's very timely and important that we have this conversation. Guys, the debt snowball method can change your life if you do it with diligence. That's how I got out of my student loan situation, okay? Using the debt snowball method. And for those of you that don't know what the debt snowball method is, I'm going to try to do a quick little, JoJo, how we doing on time?
It's 7:37.
I'm going to try to do a quick little mini explanation, and I have a debt snowball spreadsheet I can send to you if you want it. And if you're in the Develop Your Financial Confidence group on Facebook, it's in the file section. You can just go right there to the file section and download the debt snowball spreadsheet there. But inside of that debt snowball, guys, all it's doing is laying out all the debts that you owe, right? And take that low-hanging fruit, what's the smallest debt that you owe, right? And putting all of your extra towards that smallest debt that you owe, and you pay that off. And in the meantime, you're still paying the others, but you're paying the bare minimum on the others just so that you can make sure that you're doing what you need to do. Once you have that first one paid off, you say, woohoo, but that's it. You now take it and you apply it to the next debt. So say my next debt was a credit card bill for $3,000, right? And my monthly payment was $200 a month, okay? If that monthly payment is $200, I now take my monies from that first bill. So that first bill I paid off was $100, okay? I now take that $100, add it to this $200 for this credit card. That's now $300 that I'm applying to this debt, right? And you can go through and do the math, and it'll tell you how long it's going to take you to pay that off. It tells you how many months that it takes you to pay that debt off at that rate. Then once that paid off, now we take that $300 and we apply it to the next bill. They call it a snowball because if you think about a snowball going down the hill, it starts out real tiny at first, but by the time that thing gets halfway down the hill, it's so big and massive and it picks up momentum. And before you know it, bam, you've crushed your debt. See, that's what the debt snowball does for you. But you have to be strategic and you have to continue.
Yes.
You have to be consistent throughout that process in order to get that. Okay. So that's very important for us to understand and get. Number one priority is your emergency fund or that contingency fund. If you don't have it, get it. Put everything you can into it. We talked about how do I begin saving. It's easy, guys. If you are committed, right? Remember, we said this is not a conversation for those who know that they need to. This is not a conversation for those who want to. This is a conversation for those who are committed to.
Yes.
So you have to decide that you are now committed to move to that next level. So commit to doing something, commit to doing whatever it takes legally, committed to doing whatever it takes legally to get that emergency fund. Guys, there are so many things in our homes that we don't use that we could definitely get rid of. Sell it, right? You don't always have to go get another job, right? You don't always have, I mean, that's an option. You can definitely do that, but you don't, that's not the only way to get things done, is essentially what I'm saying. So that's your number one priority. Make sure you have that emergency fund in case stuff happens, because you need to be able to feed your family. You need a house, a roof over your head. And trust me, I get that, right? But the number two thing that you need to be focused on is, of course, mindset is first and foremost. Let's just be real. Because if you're not thinking right, if you're not committed to this, then all of this is for naught. It's for absolutely nothing. Okay? So just make sure that we're being intentional. And getting back to where do I begin series for investing today. So once you have your emergency fund, that debt snowball is knocked out, guys, it'll be so easy for you to now invest. But what I say, do the education piece for yourself while you're doing this. Don't stop educating yourself. Don't stop reading. Don't stop looking. Don't stop focusing on what the future is going to look like, because that's going to help you keep the momentum. And that's where we tend to miss out. We don't keep the momentum behind us because we're not continuing to feed ourselves. See, I know my body. I got to eat in the morning time. I need a snack in between lunch and breakfast. And then I got to eat at lunch. Then I need another snack. Then I got to eat at night at dinner. And then before I go to bed, I still have to have me another snack, right? And I know my body's set up like that. I just got to eat. The same thing with your mind and the way that we think about our finances, guys. We got to continue to feed our minds.
Yes.
We have to continue to do that. And how do you feed your mind? You feed your mind by reading, by talking to people and getting in a community of like-minded people who are going to share with you, who are thinking things through, who are dealing with the certain things, and they're going to trigger these items for you. And it sets you in a completely different situation, and you will see things so differently. And it's like you said earlier, my light, Miss Emily, you said the light is on now, right? That light comes on and it stays on. It doesn't go off for you, because then you start getting all of these ideas, right?
You get excited.
All of these ideas, right? And you get so excited and you're like, yes, I can do this. But you are your greatest responsibility, and it all starts with you, guys. It starts with you and your mind. And I'm gonna cut it off, JoJo, but those are the three things that I say to you today. Make sure you continue to educate yourself, no matter what. This is a process that we have to go through, and you need to be able to set it up so that you create your method. Create a method that you can say definitively that I decided to do this. I'm comfortable with this, and I can now sleep at night because I know that this is gonna work. As simple as that. It's not easy, but it's as simple as that, right? All right, JoJo, that's it for the financial confession and conversation this morning. Guys, I also want to share for those of you who are interested and you're ready. Even if you're not ready right now, on my page, the Women Who Invest page, go over to that page, scroll down to the bottom. There's a video on investing, some information on stocks, and just some basic introductory type information. Yes, bit.ly/WW invest. Go over to that page, look at the information that's available to you there. And then once you get that emergency fund set up, once you make your debt snowball and you want to get into this community, come on in and join us at WW Women Who Invest. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm going to pass it over to my co-host.
And I think Lynn is right. You've got to be committed and educate yourself. Sometimes when it comes to looking at our money, we get frustrated. Even when we're looking at our bank account, you can get
Right.
frustrated, let alone by the time you add in your student loans, and figuring out, well, who do you really have your student loans with? You may think it's one company, but it may be two. And, so you got to figure out, you have to know your information. Then once you know it, it's empowering because you are taking back your power. Right now, your money has the power. And why does an innate object have power over you when you are the human,
Right.
right? So
Yes.
educate yourself, know your information. It will make your life. You will sleep better. You may be like, how I'm going to sleep better when I just looked at all the bills I owe and all the debt I got. But you will sleep better because you know what you know. Go ahead, Lynn.
I was going to say that's very profound right there. And I need somebody to type this in. If you respect your money, you can expect more money.
Amen.
But if you don't respect it, how can you expect it?
I'm typing it in.
Yes.
Honey.
See, guys, that's what it's all about.
That is true.
Exactly.
And then the door opens up. And you have to, and Lynn was talking about asking yourself those questions. I asked myself, JoJo, show me the way where you can make that extra money for your bills. I didn't say, how can I? I said, JoJo, show me. And then your brain wants to solve your problems. So when you ask it to do something, just like Alexis or Google, they go do whatever you tell it to do. If you say, hey, brain, go find me some money because you got to do this, amazing things happen. The power of the brain. Let me tell you, there's a scientific study that us as humans, we use less than 10% of our brains to do what it can do. We're smart people. We're not dumb by a long shot. We just don't push ourselves.
Okay. Yes.
To do it. We do not apply the application of education and knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. I want to talk about yesterday, I want to talk about the importance of your circle. So yesterday, let me tell you, I was an emotional day. I cried all day yesterday. I did. I told Lynn. She looked at me like, JoJo, I never know what you're going to say. But yesterday was International Women's Day, y'all, and I cried the entire. So I'm in a room. I went to an International Women's Day luncheon, and it was a small group of 50 women, right? And as soon as I walked in the room, for y'all that don't know me, like you think I'm friendly, I'm as shy as they can get. And when I'm in a big group, I'm not parting my lips for anything. I'm not going to say a word, Lynn. I'm just going to sit there and look. So I walk in and I'm nervous because I'm by myself and I was like, and I had business cards and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to talk to anybody. I'm just going to go and see how this event is going to go, even though it's a networking event. I go to networking events and sometimes I don't give out a card. I don't open up my mouth. I'm just there wasting my time. Don't waste your time. So I got there, and as soon as I went in, 3 ladies immediately came up to me, introduced themselves, gave me their card, and they were just so nice. And then we sat at the table and we were talking, and to interact with women who had the same vision, drive, understanding, lifestyle, who some were doing their job completely, living their dream, owning their own business completely, to those of us who work in a 9 to 5 and doing it on the side. It was just so empowering to be in a room with them. And it made me think the importance of your circle. And then as the speaker, her name is Stacey Abrams. She's running for governor of Georgia, first African-American woman to run for governor of Georgia. And she got up, and her sense of humor is just like mine. When I tell you I wanted to run up there and hug her, which I did later, but that's besides the point. But her sense of humor was just like mine, which made me even more comfortable and more excited. And I feel like I'm in kindergarten. I felt like I was in kindergarten. Mom, I made a new friend today. I came home and told the kids I made a new friend today. But it made me realize the importance of your circle. I know I talk about it a lot. And on the drive home, I had a chance to evaluate my inner circle of friends who I share things with. And then I realized that is so important to your life, your well-being, your mental health, your emotional health. Because guys, as we go on this journey, we're dealing with our mental, emotional, and financial health. That's all we're dealing with. And you need some good people in those circles to help support you. It's all about your support system. And I walked out of that room, and if you have a good group of friends or people in your circle, you will walk away beyond excited. I was so excited yesterday. I was full of ideas. My mind was on 10,000 of things I could do. I couldn't even sleep last night. I was like, I don't even know how to turn my mind out. Like, Lord, can you help a sister out? I just want to go sleep. But I had so many ideas. And guys, that's what having a good group of people around you, a supportive group, or people of like-minded. I want you to think about this. When you, and I know I've said this before, but I really want you guys to evaluate it, think about it. When you look at your circle of friends, are you exhausted when you finish your conversation with them? Or are you energized when you finish your conversation with them? I was like, that dang JoJo be coming up with stuff all the time. Because I was thinking that when, on the drive home. And then I realized some of my friends drain me, and I have to put them in a different place. So I have to build up my energy to deal with them. But my core circle of people actually energize me so that I can do the things that I need to do. Because if you are with energy draining people, let me help you understand what's about to happen. You about to stay broke. You about to stay crazy. You gonna have some drama, and you always gonna have problems. Either they're bringing it or they helping you celebrate it. One of the two. Either they bringing you some drama or you got some of your own and they helping you to celebrate your drama. They're not helping to alleviate any of your issues or your problems. They are having that pity party with you. So guys, be mindful on this is a Friday. What better time to be reflective on the weekend is to take some time and think about your inner circle, your support system. I was so, for lack of better word, so full yesterday and so excited. And at the end of the whole thing, I want to stand on the table like, yeah, I'm Superwoman. I'm about to go out and take over the whole world. Afro and all. That's what I was ready for. And so that's what your people should make you feel like. That's what your group of friends should make you feel like. And if you don't have that, Lynn and I are here. We'll help you put on your cape, straighten your crown. If you Superman or Superwoman, we got you, boo. We're going to help you because your people, your friends should encourage you. They should not change. They should not drain you. Right, Charlene? Yes, Charlene. And your new people, Lynn stretches me. She has no idea, so she's learning this. Lynn stretches me. I'm here. Lynn way, she taking me way over there. My polo pinky just stretched to death. I'm going with her though. She's like, JoJo, no, honey, we're not doing that. We're gonna do it this way. And you're thinking too small. And I'm like, you're right, I am. And so our partnership works really good because she stretches me way beyond my comfort zone. But it allows me to see what is possible. And it allows me to be comfortable with my possibility. And it allows me to acknowledge what I've known forever, but never put it into words. And so when you have somebody that allows you to acknowledge your greatness or your ideas or your feelings, then, my friends, the growth will begin. And you will be on an amazing journey to do and be where you need to be. But yesterday was an amazing, I cried all day. My kids was like, Mommy, I was like, I can't help it. And here's the thing, I talked about knowing your core yesterday. When you know your core and you are aware, and I said, be aware of your intentions of where you're going. And when you become more aware of that, your spirit and your soul recognizes like-minded people. And it is truly a spiritual experience or an enlightening for you. And you can't help but be emotional about that, because then you are seeing who you are truly meant to be, instead of, like we talked about yesterday, pretending. I refuse to pretend. And I was like, my message yesterday was for me, refuse to pretend. And I had opportunity just to be who I wanted to be in this room full of ladies. So make sure you evaluate your circle for today. Who are your friends? Are they encouraging you? Are they enlightening you? Or are they draining you? Or do they energize you? It's really as simple as that. And don't make it their fault. It's not their fault. And that's okay. It's just you may need something different. Anything you want to add to that, Lynn?
No, guys, we just want to thank you so much for joining in there with us every day, sharing the information with your communities. And we also want to invite you to go over and give us feedback on both of our Facebook fan pages.
Yeah.
My page is facebook.com Demons Enterprise, and JoJo's facebook.com/BA Fearless, right?
Be Fearless Inc.
Be Fearless Inc. So if you guys will go over, if you have not given us feedback, thank you for those who have 5 stars only, please. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. All right. Back to you, JoJo.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining. As Lynn said, the Fearless Morning Show. We have a good time on here. And I think it's all because we are sharing information. And it is our prayer that it is truly helping somebody and that you can share it with them so that they can have what they need as well.
Right.
Because that's what it's all about. When you know you are charged with sharing and telling somebody else. So make sure that you're doing that. Make sure that you do that for somebody. Right. Again, if they don't have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel. And I'm going to post it here for you so that you can share that with them and tell them about it, because we have to know. And it's because we have lack of education that we do not know. And that is not, at this day and age, what you can't say is I don't know. Because between Google and YouTube and anything else, you can't say you don't know something. That's not humanly possible. And if you have kids, they're going to educate you anyway. They love to tell you something. So saying you don't know is not an option. You may not want to know, but you know, and you can find that information out. So please share that. All right, guys, that is it for the Fearless Morning Show. Lynn, have a safe trip. Congratulations. Today is Lynn's book launch. Lynn, what's the name of the book? You didn't tell us.
Yes, guys. Well, it's actually an anthology, 100 Women, 100 Stories. It's the She Wouldn't Let Me Fall. So, yes, guys. We are so
proud and excited. Go, Lynn. It's your birthday. You know, we used to about break our neck doing that dance.
Right.
That's all right. Have a safe trip, Lynn. And congratulations on the book. All right, guys. Join us here bright and early on Monday morning for the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. And we have some great things coming up. So be on the lookout for what we got going on soon and very, very soon. All right, guys. Have a great day. Oh, let me just say, Carolina won last night. Thank you very much. We play Duke tonight. I'm not a Duke fan, so I need all of my crew to be rooting. Tar Heels.
Oh, gosh, you are silly.
All right, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you on Monday. Have a good one.
All right, signing off.